I don't want to say the judges because I know Mel's judge, but I feel like every judging panel should have at least one men's physique former competitor in it. I feel like every judging panel should have a bodybuilder, a physique person, or you know what I mean, at least somebody who's done a show or like
Well,
those types of things where it's like and competed in that division that they're judging on, at least so the rest of the judges can look at them. I know there's a head judge, but if the head judge has never done men's physique and has only watched it from the stage and never even tried to hit the front pose, never even tried to hit the back pose, like what is he going to know about that and being in the moment and doing these things? Like they need to have somebody who specializes in that to kind of refer back to, you know what I mean?
hey everyone, it's another episode of Paradise Pump with Jed, Mel, myself, and we do have John on today.
What's going on?
Sailor John, we like to call him.
I don't have my sailor
But he's
clothes on
not
today.
in
John
the
is
outfit
back
today.
on.
John is back, and we have our Jets fan over here, ready for a disappointing season. Jets. Hopefully they'll break 500 this year, maybe.
7 wins would be good. I'll be happy with 7.
So anyway, so what's going on, John? I know you got a lot of things to talk about. You're very talkative in the gym. You always have topics. It's a good thing. It's not a
Yeah.
bad thing. So, what do you got going on today, man? You got anything on your mind?
Today, I don't know. I was just talking with Tina outside about the men's physique division, you know what I mean? And how important posing is and
Mm.
how I feel like a lot of times people think men's physique is just front, back, front, and it's so simple. And it is really simple, but it's really easy to make yourself look really stupid too. You know what I mean? If you don't practice your posing. So there's
Mm.
we were just talking about the different styles of front poses, ways that people should hit their back pose and whatnot. And I just feel like that's I don't want to say the judges because I know Mel's judge, but I feel like every judging panel should have at least one men's physique former competitor in it, because every judging panel has bodybuilders in it, has figure, bikini, but there's never a men's physique guy, you know what I mean? So when you're judging these men's physique dudes, a lot of times it's like, like if you don't keep up, because if you do men's physique, you're going to watch men's physique stuff online. You're going to keep up with what's going on. You're going to watch all the little shows that go on. You're going to follow the men's physique news page. You're going to like all these pros and follow all of them. Like some, judges, and including myself, I'm 42. If I'm older and I'm not into something, I might not be paying attention to what the new hot shit is. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel like every judging panel should have a bodybuilder, a physique person, or, you know what I mean? At least somebody who's done a show or like
Well,
those types of things where it's like and competed in that division that they're judging on, at least so the rest of the judges can look at them. I know there's a head judge, but if the head judge has never done men's physique and has only watched it from the stage and never even tried to hit the front pose, never even tried to hit the back pose, like what is he going to know about that and being in the moment and doing these things? Like they need to have somebody who specializes in that to kind of refer back to, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
I feel like the men's physique division gets neglected a lot and like pushed to the side. And I just think that it's probably going to be in the future one of the bigger divisions, if not the biggest. And I feel they should pay more attention to it.
Well, here's the thing, dude. If you if you think about this though, okay, well, how many coaches say we're going to go down the line, but how many coaches have never competed? Because there
Yeah,
are some big name
for
coaches
sure.
that weren't competitors. They
Yeah,
coach bikini girls or whatever, but they never competed.
yeah,
But they're good. They're big name coaches, right?
yeah,
And then judges. There's there's a lot of judges. No, I mean not just here in Hawaii, but there's other states judges that they've never competed.
yeah,
They've never competed.
yeah. It's kind of
They've been
weird to me.
fans of bodybuilding, fans of fitness.
Yeah,
Maybe they work out and do something else. Maybe they were competitive in some sport, but they've never stood on that stage and
yeah.
posed.
They haven't ever
So,
been in the trenches. You know what I mean?
so yeah. So what you're saying though is kind of like you don't think that a person who's never competed should be judging. Is that kind of what you're saying in a
In my
way?
opinion, has no business judging.
Has no business judging if
Yeah.
they've never stepped on that stage.
No, I don't think so.
Hmm.
Maybe you can be a commentator
Okay.
or the guy
Expediter.
expediter, but to sit there and judge somebody when you don't know and you've never been there and you're
It's
just
kind of
telling them,
wild.
It's
I
insane.
mean, that's interesting.
Would I
Well,
judge a
what?
jujitsu competition? I only did this shit for 4 months. Like, dude, I'd be like, dude, not even knowing what to judge on. You know what I mean? Like, and I know they have a criteria, but it's like, I don't know. Like, just say like, and even posing. That's the thing that kills me. Is like they should start judging the style of posing and the finesse and the way that they pose, because some of these pros pose like trash. You know what I mean? Like even like say Omar Ventura, one of the best coaches. You know, Coach Lucky Libra. What is it? Andre Ferguson, Raymond Edmonds, George Brown. All these dudes. You know,
Yeah.
dude, and he's doing men's physique now and he's posing. But like,
Okay.
if you look at his recent posts, this is no shade at all. Shout out to Omar Ventura. But like his front pose, he's kind of leaning back in it. You know what I mean? And so even a coach, you know what I mean? He's just starting to do it again. And he's coached people, but he's never done it himself and hasn't done it in a long time. So it's off
Mm,
a little bit. You know what I mean?
yeah.
He looks great. He looks amazing. But when he's leaning back like that, that's not really, that's like the old school Ryan Terry, and Ryan Terry fixed his posing because they didn't like his posing because he was
Hmm.
posing like that. So I don't know. I just feel like for judging men's physique, there should be somebody there who specializes in that. So when that division comes up, because it is a very big division, you know what I mean? A lot of people invest a lot of money into this, and I feel like they could refer back to that person if they have any questions, or kind of like, hey man, what did you think about that posing routine? That transition. Like I don't know. That looked kind of like
Yeah.
bodybuilding to me. Like I don't, you know what I mean, or whatever. Yeah, it's just they don't. Yeah, and even when you see people try to coach people, like I'm helping somebody right now in the gym with their posing, right? And their coach asked me to help them pose. And it's like within 15 minutes, so much can be accomplished if you work with somebody who knows what they're doing. You know what I
Right.
mean? But if I don't know, it's just one of those
It's
things.
tough because there's a lot of experts in a lot of different fields, not just
Yeah,
fitness, right? In other fields
for
that
sure.
maybe they were never athletes,
Yeah,
they were never competitors there, but they're experts
yeah, for
at
sure.
that field and they're really good. And so that's a tough one, right? Because
Yeah,
now, like the
yeah.
judging panel, I kind of agree with you. Like I feel like every judge should
At least
have
one.
some experience that they've
Yeah,
gone on stage to kind of know like how it feels to do that, right?
yeah, for sure.
I do agree with that, but I mean, we've got a head judge here who's never competed, so
Yeah,
never did the sport.
yeah. And
Maybe
and I'm not
maybe he
trying to.
competed in
Yeah,
something else, but
yeah,
never did the sport.
yeah, for sure.
A bodybuilding. So the whole thing is like, man, maybe they know the sport. Maybe he knows it inside and out.
Yeah,
Like some people are really they understand the sport. They know what to look for,
yeah,
all that stuff, right?
yeah.
But they've never actually done
Yeah,
it.
and to me, that's where you lack soul. You know what I mean? That's the soul of the sport. You know what I mean? It's soulless in that point because you're just going off this criteria that you studied and
Mm,
you learned, and like you're just a book dude. And I'm not saying anything about art. I'm just talking in general.
yeah.
Not our head judge, but I'm just saying like then you're just the dude who just learned the criteria, and it's just there's no backing of it other than just this piece of paper you read and what they told you to look for, and there's no context to it. You know what I mean? And like kind of like depth, and it's
Well,
just
yeah. Well, you weren't
yeah,
in the trenches
yeah.
battling out
It's
with
just
backstage with the
yeah.
guys and going
Your
through the
credibility isn't
process.
as credible as somebody
Well,
to me who's
here we're gonna ask Mel
no,
on
yeah,
this because
perfect person.
Mel is a judge and
Yeah,
Mel is around and she knows the background of all the
yeah,
judges
for sure.
here.
Yeah,
So I'd love to hear the thoughts.
Perspectively, I love this topic. I honestly think you guys can hate me for it, my colleagues, but it's just an opinion that I feel that we should have some sort of skin in the game and general understanding of what these division criterias are about, posing, what it should look like, flowing, and all of that other good stuff. Um, in my perfect world, I would love for our judges panel to have one of each from a division, and then our head judge, you be the head judge. Just
Yeah.
just do that,
yeah.
or our head judge chairman, just do that. Be a chairman
Just sit there
Oh,
and
I
look
see.
good.
and leave it for
I
the
see.
IFBB Pro
Yeah,
judges um
To
to
decide, yeah.
judge the criteria. What's going on as far as each criteria or
yeah,
who we get presented with for the day. Will it happen? As of late, it made it very difficult for everywhere, every state to onboard new judges for many different reasons. Before it was our head chairman, he would do the test judge 3 times, and if you're in alignment with us, yeah, maybe we'll consider you to onboard. You're gonna do a couple more small shows and to see where you fare. But now I believe it has to go through the NPC and the Manions in order for you to get
Oh,
vetted as a judge here at the state level. So it's no longer in a chairman's hands to be like, yeah, hey, I want you, or hey, I'll consider you. So it made it so much more harder.
really? It's changed.
There's a lot
Wow.
more red tape, and that was one of the few things that I had mentioned before, that we should actually onboard more people who's relevant
Hmm.
in the industry, and
Yeah.
maybe let the ones that had not been active kind of just right off into the sunset, you know?
Okay.
That's one of the problems. And the other problem too, if an IFBB pro wanted, or not even just an IFBB pro, if a coach wanted to be a judge, he's got to pick and choose his lane. He's either got to be one or the other. And that was a recent stipulation that had came about as well too. So a lot of the coaches was like, I make money coaching. Of course I'm gonna coach.
Right.
So there's been a lot of back and forth with that. It's still kind of unresolved. So what I know a lot of people has been doing was, say a coach is a judge, if they have competitors at that show, they just won't judge that show.
That's okay.
I don't know how far they took it, but
Mm.
that's been a big problem. As far as what I suggested, and this I suggested before 2020 happened, that I would love for all of our judges to go watch national shows,
Oh,
watch how they judge,
fully. That'd be cool.
see what the
I agree.
criteria is about, the most latest, and
Yeah, for sure.
everything from the judging, the body types, the everything, how quick they get the people in and out of stage. Like,
Yeah, I feel like
I
that should be without saying. I
yeah,
Yeah,
feel
for
like
and
sure.
those state judges should be doing that,
Yeah, no,
looking at
totally.
that.
It's
I
you got to
suggest,
study. Yeah,
yeah,
for
Yeah.
sure.
I suggested that they do that, like every other year, or any opportunity that they can, go watch a national show, watch a pro show in
Right.
person,
Right.
and see really behind the scenes.
And if you
Mhm.
really want to take this shit seriously, whoever's in charge of judging and judges, like say, hey, all the judges here in Hawaii, we're going to meet up at the end of the month. Okay. And we're going to have a meeting. It doesn't need to be long, but it's going to be in a garage or somewhere quiet where we can talk and there's a TV or a computer. We're going to go through the pro shows that happened this past month, look at the top 5 people and see what the fuck they look like. And we should be judging according to that. Because if these guys, the Manions, are sitting there and judging these people, and these are the top 5, and our top 5 looks completely different, what's going on with that? You know what I mean? So it's like one of those things like if you're a judge and you're judging a division, you should be able to name the top 3 people in that division at the Olympia last year. If you
Yep.
can't do that right off the top of your head, you shouldn't be a judge.
Another
You know
one
what
of
I
the
mean?
things that I had brought to discussion amongst my colleagues, a few of them, was I love the fact that Tyler Mannion will go after every show and be like, hey, these are the top 5 people for these divisions, and these are my personal reasons why I feel. And he breaks down everything. And he makes it simple. And I wish more of our judges, I'm just speaking for the Hawaii judges, hate me if you want, um, that we should follow up and watch Tyler Mannion's breakdowns. We could learn something from it.
Yeah,
Mm.
We
fully.
not we could. We can absolutely learn
No, no,
things
no.
from each breakdown.
It's gonna happen, so we will.
We will.
No.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
that's a great
I
idea.
might be calling you out, Hawaii judges, but we should stay
Yeah,
on top of the game, because we are responsible for these people.
yeah.
We are responsible for the turnouts, and you just don't turn in your vote for this individual just because they look all right.
And it'll help you with feedback too when you give feedback to them. You know what I
Oh
mean?
my god. And
So when you
that's
give the feedback to the people, it's like, you know what I mean? It's not like, okay, well, you
generic.
need to get your stuff to look, you got to look like this. And then they tell you what to look like, but it's nothing like the top 5 that was just in the last pro show in New York or whatever it may be. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's just, that was something that
Yeah.
was a
Yeah.
topic that me and Tina were talking
Absolutely.
about.
As far
Yeah.
as feedbacks and the judge's responsibility, they absolutely should be a lot more, they should be more in depth in regards to, yeah, matching criteria to the body type and the competitor, instead of just getting generic feedback.
Yeah.
Hey, just get in a little bit more tighter, a little bit more leaner, and
Yeah.
like, just a little,
Overall, just work on
yeah,
everything, man.
just work on everything, man. You're there, you're
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Don't give up. Like,
Yeah. Right.
F that.
I think what it's funny when years ago was one of the judges had told I told Jeff actually. We had Jeff
Yeah.
on the show
Yeah.
a bunch of times. Yeah, you got to fix your hair. He told him.
Wow.
When he competed?
Yeah,
I
Jeff.
know. Yeah.
Jeff had done the show, and he took first in his class, and this was for the overall,
Yeah.
title,
His bodybuilding?
his bodybuilding,
Yeah.
and yeah, this wasn't classic physique yet.
Yeah.
It hadn't come out yet, I don't think. And he had said, "Oh yeah, you got to fix your hair,
Yeah.
like your hair."
Yeah.
Well,
That's
I was at when I used to work out at 24 Hour Fitness a lot. Um, there was there was judges that used to work out over there as well too, and it
Mhm.
was before judges' feedback was a thing where you could go up to them at the end of the show or email them.
yeah.
So this is like way before, and I've overheard a conversation where a judge said to this competitor, "Oh, what did you place?" And the competitor says, "Oh, I placed second." And the judge says, "Well, what are you complaining about then?" Like that was
Oh,
his feedback.
that was it.
Yeah.
Like, well, you got second. That's pretty
Yeah,
good.
you should be happy you got second. Like, what do you want feedback for? What are you complaining about? And I was like, "Oh shit. I mean,
Yeah.
all
Wow.
right, how do I improve to first?"
Yeah,
Yeah, like
because I
maybe
just
he
want to
wants
get
to win.
better. Like even if I don't win the next time, I would like to look better the next
Right.
show.
So, like, I overheard that conversation in 24 Hour Fitness, and I was like, we could do better. And this was before I was a judge, so that says a lot.
What division was it when you said they told me he had to fix his hair?
It was bodybuilding.
So I'm looking at the NPC guidelines for bodybuilding. It says nothing about hair.
Yeah, see,
So that should be.
for sure.
That was messed up.
So that's my thing with this whole judging thing is that they're. I don't know if they're still on there, but there used to be NPC guidelines of what they're supposed to look for each category.
Mhm.
So this whole, well, this is what we're looking for today. No, you're fucking looking for what the guidelines are telling you you're looking for every contest, and that's how it should be. And now I know there's instances where nobody, when the guidelines is up there and they have to judge what's up there. I get that,
Mhm.
but I've heard of a few instances where the reasoning they give to people for not placing is nowhere near in the guidelines that are stated.
Yeah.
And that's where shit gets gray and
See,
fuzzy.
if that happened to Jeff nowadays, he could just say that the judge was a racist, and then
Right. Well, and the funny thing, Jeff's hair was just like it was just normal. It wasn't like he did some crazy hairstyle.
yeah,
It was just normal. I don't know. I mean, maybe it was, thinning, who knows? But it wasn't anything extravagant.
yeah,
So I just think that judge just had to pull something out
But as
to
far
get
as
something.
what Jed was saying,
Yeah.
nowhere in the guidelines did it
Does it?
mention anything about
Yeah.
hair
Yep.
or grooming.
Right.
There is a very tactful way to um challenge the judges, and I would love for you guys to challenge them to call bullshit where it's like worthy, especially on something like that.
Mm.
But there's, like I said, a tactful way of doing it. You don't have to be like, "Oh yeah, why what?" Like, no, just accept it with grace and be like, "Yeah, sir, but the guideline or ma'am, the guideline says this. It says nothing about grooming.
Yeah.
yeah.
So now try to explain to me again why he did not."
Right.
Now I'm gonna just play devil's advocate here, even though I do agree with that whole thing. But what if, let's just say this situation happens, Jeff and some other guy look exactly the same. Boom, boom, boom. Like they're even on the judging. They're like, man, we got them
5 for
both.
5.
Bro, they're the same.
So
You know what I
hair.
mean? Not hair, but like, what if like the guy like, he
No, you're
has,
gonna
he has
decide based off of hair. Is that what you're
not
saying?
hair, but
Oh,
like,
okay.
you might start looking at other things, maybe,
I mean,
like
maybe.
color of trunks,
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
their spray tan,
Right. Well, that
like their
always.
hair.
Those are
Why can't they
relevant.
You know
just
what I
pose
mean?
them until one guy drops?
That's an
Pose
option
them till
too,
one guy fades or one guy drops.
for sure.
That's what they should do.
Mm.
Yeah. But I feel like in the comparisons, you know what I mean? If you're in the comparison round, at least, you know what I mean? Like in the morning show or whatever
Yeah.
it may be,
Right.
like, I mean, not the pose down and whether, battling it out type thing, but like, say, just in the comparison rounds, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
if these guys all look the same, that's what I think for men's physique. And men's physique is a little different. Bodybuilding is a little more beast mode, man. To have some crazy hair, that would, to me, kind of add to the essence of what bodybuilding is, But I mean, I feel
Yeah.
like you should put yourself together as much as you can, even if they don't judge on it. Like I had this conversation with the coach that asked me to help his guy pose, and I was talking about his calves, and I was asking him if he does calves, and I was like, they don't judge you on your calves. But what if I'm up there with this other guy who looks just like me? We have tattoos in the same spot. We're diced. We're the same size. We both got good hair and we both got everything. And we got the same shorts on. You know what I mean? Because men's physique, everybody wears the same shorts. And it's like, but I have calves and that guy doesn't.
Well,
Like, you know
don't.
what I mean? Like it
Well,
might just be kind of like they're looking at trying to find something, you know what I mean? And they're
but
like,
men's physique is kind of a modeling contest too.
yeah, it is. So
So
it's different.
they'll
It's
look at,
different. Hair,
well, appearance,
smile, yeah,
face, like, oh,
for sure.
my opinion, this guy is a better looking guy than that guy, right? Like,
Yeah, I could see
and
it.
then
Yeah,
that
I see
wins
what you're saying for
sometimes
sure.
based off of,
Yeah,
oh, this guy's a to me is a better looking guy than this guy.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it happens,
for
right?
sure.
In that, like bikini for sure.
I think just in the world in general, like even if you're going for a job, it's like, or like,
Like the good looking person has an
yeah,
advantage.
they have an advantage off the bat, and that's just the sad facts. And this is a very vain sport. We have to remember. So you have to remember when you're posing, that's art. You know what I mean? When you're up there and you're presenting yourself, that's art.
Mm,
I mean, it's an art to lift weights too, but that's more the meathead beast mode side of the sport. You have to be artistic and put together when you're on stage. You have to
mhm.
have stage presence. You have to try your best to just put your best foot forward. You know what I mean? And if it even means just fuck, if he just went like this with his hair, like and it might have made a difference. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Well, and there's shows too. I mean, and I've seen it before. People single-handedly win shows based off of a body part. I've seen it. Like,
yeah,
oh yeah, like I've seen like everyone's good, and then this guy had some really good
Quads.
legs, man. Like
and they just
really
stood
good
out.
legs. Even though these other guys were put together
Yeah,
like really
and
nice,
this guy
but
might have
this
had a
guy
better chest, but
just the leg, like
yeah,
couldn't stop looking at the legs. He's the winner,
yeah, for sure.
And it's like, wait, but he had small arms, or his shoulders
Yeah,
weren't that great, but no, but those legs
yeah,
carried him through and won the whole show
for
for him.
sure.
Jed, do you have the NPC guidelines up?
I was googling some shit earlier.
Does it say, because I know they have on NPC News Online the guidelines in men's physique, does it say anything about symmetry?
What it says, what Google pulled up was an athletic beach body look with overall size, proportion, symmetry, a conditioned core, and a small amount of roundness in the delts. That's it.
There's nothing about
Symmetry.
looks then,
No.
like attractive face
But
or
well, let me get to that. Symmetry. The balance with the body, and even though they're not being judged on legs, it's still like
Yes,
symmetry is symmetry. It
it
could
is.
be
I
whatever,
agree.
right?
right.
It's still it. And then Tyler Mannion mentioned just maybe last year, I don't know, don't freaking quote me on how long ago it was, but recently that he would like to see a lot more of the guys in men's physique fill up their shorts a little bit more and
I saw
be a
that.
little bit more
Yeah,
balanced. That was
for
within
sure.
this past year and a
Yeah.
half or
It
so,
was it
right?
was yeah, I was competing, just stopped competing back. It's within the past year. Yeah.
Okay, so point and case taken about this whole legs fiasco thing because it is like a beach body look and all of that. Let's just talk about men's physique for now. Yeah, um, the looks will sell.
For sure.
Mhm.
And even
Right.
when that description, beach body, when I think beach body, like I don't think of what the men's physique guys look like
No,
nowadays. That's
not
not
at
what you
all.
see when you go to the beach. So they
Not
got
at
to take
all.
that out of there first and
We see
foremost.
obese people at the
Go look at
beach.
surfers, for
Yeah,
instance.
for sure.
Surfers, they're in good shape.
Yeah,
They tend to be lean,
yeah.
a lot of them, but they're not big.
And they don't look anything like the men's physique division.
No,
Yeah, so I feel like the beach body thing, I get it because maybe they're saying that because they
It's
wear
a
surf
generic term.
shorts. But yeah,
yeah,
it's very vague. It's very
it's a
blanket. It's
broad
like, what does
term.
that mean? Like, oh, we
Yeah.
want round delts, we want a little bit of round delts. Like, what? What does that mean? Like, you want a round or not? You know what I mean? I want a
Here's
little
a
I
bit,
mean,
and
here's
I'm
a
like,
more
"Oh,
in
yeah,
depth.
yeah, yeah."
Not as much size or extreme conditioning as bodybuilding or classic physique.
And honestly, the men's physique division is the most conditioned division besides bikini,
Yeah.
for real.
Competitors should be in shape but not shredded to the extreme. It says in a lean beach body style. Balance development across all muscle groups, so they may be able to use
balance.
that to justify the
All
legs.
muscle groups.
No one body part should overpower the rest. So let's see.
It's
Legs are not
interesting.
legs are not judged. It says specifically here.
I think they should
They're
change
not
that.
judged heavily, but balance is expected.
Okay, there we go.
Balance.
Perfect way to say it.
Judges want competitors to look confident, marketable, and photogenic.
Marketable.
It's
Grooming,
in
skin
there.
tone, overall look play a role. The total package matters. Physique, personality,
Total
presentation.
package.
Now,
Yeah.
I agree with those with physique, but
Yeah, bodybuilding's different.
I don't think the whole marketable, presentable, pretty boy should apply to bodybuilding.
Yeah, Branch Warren ain't
Yeah,
marketable. Not a
fuck. Well, no, I mean
no,
he
no.
is, but he's
Yeah,
not
in a
because he's
different way.
pretty.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a little
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
But I mean, I understand those.
Yeah. Hey, I want to say something real quick, and then we'll go back to it
Yeah.
because he said total package. Actually, me and Jeff, we were talking about this just
Yeah.
yesterday because we trained together, right? And we were like, when did the word package become a thing in bodybuilding? Like, yeah, this year I really want to bring my best
I
package to the
fucking hate
stage.
that.
Yeah, and me and Jeff were like, and I said, I don't recall any of the '90s bodybuilders, Nasser, Kevin LeBron, Flex Wheeler, Paul Dillett, Dorian Yates. I don't recall any of them ever
referring
saying,
to it.
"This year I brought the best package to the stage." Never. They never said that, dude. I'm like, I think that started in
You're
the
wearing
early
tighter pants to the
2000s,
stage. Is what
dude.
that means.
Somewhere in the early 2000s,
Yeah.
it started. I want to find who was the guy that I'm serious. Me and Jeff were like,
Who's the first fucking guy?
I'm gonna watch all the national show interviews and the pros and find it because there's somebody out there who was using that.
See, this
And it
Coin that
became a
term
thing.
package.
I
They
hate
fucking
that.
yes.
That and
predates my
tissue.
bodybuilding.
Yes.
Okay,
And
that-
tissue.
tissue.
Muscle tissue.
Tissue.
When people build tissue.
Yeah.
Tissue.
We're building tissue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder who started
I'm
that
like,
shit.
this was not in the '90s, dude. This was not. I cannot see Dorian
Yeah.
Yates saying, "This year I'm bringing the best package that I can bring." Or it's just
Yeah.
like it won't
I could see
happen.
maybe the announcers saying it or something. Maybe oh, he brought a great package this year. And they maybe kind of like yeah. I could see
You know,
maybe
it's
something.
weird. I'm gonna find out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna spend some time on it.
Yeah.
I'll let
For
you guys
sure.
know.
But back to that men's physique thing, real quick. What did it say? Not too conditioned or
Yeah.
shredded.
No,
Not
that's the
extreme
whole thing
shredded.
is not even
But
right.
they want you to be shredded, and then they our judges at least reward people for conditioning over other guys who aren't as conditioned,
Yeah.
who might have better symmetry. But this guy's super conditioned and look like he suffered the last month. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? He looks depleted.
Well, tell me this: if you have, well, we were talking, you said same bodies, right?
Yeah.
If there was two guys, very similar structure, same height, all that going on, one guy is vascular, dry, hard as nails. The other guy looks good, little bit soft. Not, I wouldn't even call him soft, but he just looks a little bit softer,
Yeah.
not as vascular, doesn't have the super dry look, but you see everything.
Yeah.
Nice lines. Now, who's gonna like most people as far as being a coach?
Yeah.
For me, I'm always gonna say I'm gonna go for this guy, the guy who's peeled,
Me too.
who's dry and shredded.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that's the look I want
100%.
for my guy on stage,
Yeah.
right? But what will those judges pick typically? Are they gonna pick that shredded dry? Again, same structure, same type of physiques, right? Which one's gonna win out in shows? And tell me
Shredded.
which one it is, because I know which one
I'm
wins out.
holding my mouth on purpose because I've been in this predicament where my guy lost because he was too conditioned. The guy who won was a little bit softer, and this was for men's classic,
Yeah.
right? The beautiful silhouette of the body, small cinched waist, great shoulder caps, head to toe, great package, even the good looking face as well too. You know who you are.
Yeah.
The guy who won was just a hairline bigger because he was a little bit softer. And they're like,
They
they
went for
gave
that.
it to the bigger guy.
Mm.
For me, it'll be conditioning. I would take the conditioning, especially if it was like like a coin toss between the
Right.
two.
Yeah. If they got the same like
I would go
size,
conditioning.
size
And
and
this
weight
happened
physique,
to my dude
totally.
twice. So we're super pissed off about this statement.
Yeah.
Now, I could tell you when I first got here around 2008, 2009, there was a little different judging panel, and you could have a guy that was conditioned and bigger, and because the other guy looked fucking anorexic, he would win.
100%.
That
Yep.
shit
Used to
you remember
happen
in the early
all the
2000s
time.
Here, it used to happen all the time.
And guys wouldn't even look that good. Like their body structure, things were like
Yeah.
off. But he was just standing back there, sucked in,
Emaciated.
barely breathing, and he would
Yeah.
win. And I'm like, dude, and he's like, 10, 15 pounds lighter than the other dude,
Yeah.
who, by the way, is in shape and looks really
And the
good.
structure's better, yeah.
But they would always be like, well, most conditioned winner.
Yeah.
And
That was the
that
thing,
wasn't
dude.
what the judges now. That
See, and
was
there's a lot of like I
back-
feel like kind of like
Yeah.
say if they're the same size as far as like muscle bellies and like the size and the waist and the structure and the silhouette is the same. Because to me in men's physique, what matters a lot too that they don't mention in there is your silhouette. You know what I mean? Like if I just make this a black canvas and everybody's just shadows on the stage and it's just black, what does the outline of their body look like? I mean, I guess that could fall under symmetry too. But it's like to me, like that really matters.
I think
And
it
feel
does,
like
absolutely.
and I feel like if somebody is the same size as somebody and like, like they have like all this symmetry and stuff, and you know what I mean, and it's like awesome. But then this guy's like shredded, but doesn't have the symmetry. You know what I mean? That shape and that
X
silhouette,
factor.
the X factor. Like I feel like the dude who is softer in that situation should win. You know what I mean? If he's not like watery, you know what I mean, but just not as like sucked in and
Yeah, but
crazy
you'll
looking.
see guys
But
that
then,
are completely shredded and look like a box with arms,
yeah,
and
Hmm.
then they
I've
win
seen that.
because they're more
I've been
lean.
beaten by that before. Yeah,
Yeah.
this one guy, he was a Japanese dude. He's from Japan. This is like one of my first shows, and so I was like way smaller. I mean, I'm small now, but way smaller than when I was competing towards the end there. And like I remember we were talking backstage, and we were all like, "Oh, like what did you eat to carb up?" Blah blah blah. He's like, "I didn't eat the past 2 days." What the
Are you
fuck?
serious?
You didn't eat the past 2 days, and then he won, and I was tripping, and I was like, "Bro, this guy," and I told O was my coach, and I was like, this, he's like, bro, that guy won. He's so tiny, and he's just like, bro, he's so
Did
skinny.
you see how big he looks now, though? The
Yeah.
like last year's competition. Oh my
Uh-uh.
God, he's
He looks
a
awesome.
monster.
No
Yeah.
way. But yeah, so I was like looking, and I was like, man, this guy never ate for two
You know who
days, and
that
he
is?
won. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. So I was like, no,
I
not
don't know him
is it
personally.
not Dai Tanaka though.
No.
Yeah, no, that I know him. It wasn't him though, but it was this old. He's older than me, I think, a little bit
But
older.
Dai Tanaka's same thing as well too.
Yeah,
He shrank like for the show, that show
yeah.
as well too.
I like
And
his
now
physique
he's a
actually.
freaking monster.
I think
mm,
he is like an underrated from Hawaii. Like a
Yeah.
lot of people get a lot of shine. I'm not saying he doesn't, but you know, he's Japanese and I notice he hangs around a lot of Japanese people, so they do their Japanese thing. And like, you know, that what's the guy's name that used to live here that used to train 24s? He has his own gym in Tokyo. Shin
Shin,
Kodama.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
Shin
he hangs
Place.
He
around
was a
that
monster
he
too,
hangs around
Shin.
that clique of people, you know what I mean? So I feel like he doesn't intermingle with the locals as much. So the locals don't really know about him. Like everybody knows about Kenny, everybody knows about Chad, everybody know, but like, dude, that guy is slept on. Like he's got a great physique,
Did
and
he just
like
mm.
compete not too long
he
ago?
did. I think he just lost to Lucas. He like
Oh really?
because Lucas and him did the Tokyo
Oh yeah,
Pro.
that's right.
That's where Lucas turned pro, and then Dai was in that same show, and I was like, bro, this guy looks good. Like you know what I mean? But I don't know. It's just men's physique is a
He's
hard
not pro
division.
yet.
No,
He didn't
he's
turn
not.
pro.
Shin's not.
Oh no, I don't know. Is
I
Not
think
Shin?
Shin
Shin.
is.
Not Shin, but
Dai.
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 His
Oh,
one of his friends.
okay.
He trains at Powerhouse. I
Yeah,
know.
no, I remember when he was there.
Yeah, he got a like when me and him were competing. Like, well, I never really competed against him. We're different heights, you know. But I remember him at shows, and yeah, he improved a lot. And to me, as a judge too, that's another thing, man. Like, I know, like it's cool to judge the same people every year and you want to give them some extra points because they improved, but you still should judge them on whether or not it is it. You know what I mean? You can't give them like, oh yeah, well he got better from last year, so we're gonna boost him up a little bit. You know what I mean? It's like that's the everybody gets a trophy type shit. You know what I mean? So it's like
Oh,
I
there's
think
judges, but there's judges who will judge you.
yeah, you know,
They've
they're
told me,
like, oh,
well,
he got
judge you
better from
based
last
off
year.
of your potential.
Yeah. What the hell is that? Like
You
you need to
see,
judge on what
I've
exactly is
seen
going
that.
on right there. You can't be like, oh, this guy
Yeah.
has more potential to go pro, so we're gonna let him win this show and go to nationals. Like, what if this guy doesn't have the mental capacity and doesn't last and doesn't even go to the national show? But this guy had, in reality, more potential, and you just
Mm.
look past it.
Dude,
You know
how
what I
many
mean?
guys have you seen turn pro that all his potential immensely couldn't handle it? And they never made it very far.
Oh, lots of
There's a
guys.
few.
Yeah.
There's
And
a lot of
there's
names out
even in
there.
the '90s at the national level, there were some bodybuilders that would have crushed it in the pro level, and they can never turn pro because they can never get
Never
together.
made it.
Yeah.
Yep, never
Yep.
made it.
Yeah. And that's part of it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Crazy.
So
Crazy. Yeah. It was crazy though how many guys actually made pro, maybe competed one time in the pro show or not at all, and they were done. That was it. Like there's a bunch of them,
and even
man.
now they're making it harder, I think, to get to the Olympia. Is that did they just mention that, right?
Yeah, they
So
changed
they're
it.
changing it to something where you got to win two major shows a year to even qualify to get to
Yeah,
the
to get
Olympia.
the
Are they doing
stamp
the
card
tier
for Olympia.
thing?
Yeah. They changed the point system now. Now it's like they have a point system, but like John was saying, they increased its value, so it's a lot harder to get to the Olympia now.
How many years there were there in the '90s, Mark? I mean, because I know there were fewer shows, so like to
Two
qualify
callouts.
to win a show was easy. But how many competitors was it? It wasn't 30. It was
In
more
the
like
Olympia,
15, 20,
it
right?
was about 20.
In the
It was
90s.
typically 20. It was there like 25. No, usually it was around 20, 21,
And you knew
20.
most of them.
There what?
And people knew most of them, not
Oh
all.
no, yeah, like I mean the lineup. I mean, you for sure, if you were a bodybuilder, you knew the top 10. Like everybody knew those guys. And then there was always those random guys who would kind of come in who would make it. But yeah, I mean, those are well-known names. And yeah, it was about 20 guys, I think.
Not to get off topic, but do you think there were more guys that weren't top 10 back in the '90s that were more popular than that today? Like, could you look at guys like Andreas Munzer and people like
Mm.
that, and they never really won
Right.
anything, but Andreas Moser, and every bodybuilding
Oh, he's
person knows
peeled.
who that fucking guy
He was
is.
peeled, yeah. Well, because he was the thing about there were those guys like that, right? That had certain things. Like Andreas was shredded.
Yeah.
So even though he wasn't winning the shows, everybody knew like this guy is the shredded guy. And then there was like Marcus Rule. Marcus Rule
Oh,
didn't
God.
really win shows either,
2002 Night of Champions.
but he was just
ridiculous.
huge, crazy, like freaky delts, crazy. So everybody knew like Rule, that was his thing.
And who was the
Rule,
black guy that
this
always
was
did?
huge.
Who was the black guy that always did the Batman shit for posing in the 90s?
Aaron Baker.
Aaron Baker, yeah. That was
Aaron
one.
Baker did that. Yeah. So there was a lot of these guys who maybe they didn't win shows or maybe they won one show here and there, but people knew them just because of what they brought
That
to
was
the stage, the look the image that they had.
the equivalent of being an influencer back
It
then.
was
Yeah,
yes.
that was like the old school
That was
influencer.
it. You would see these guys had their little image.
Yeah, they
you
had
know?
influence, but they
Yeah.
never won.
They never won. And then it was in the magazines, right? You'd see them in the magazine. They do a magazine shoot, and the magazines would highlight them. Like
Yeah.
this is so and so, the most shredded guy on earth, and and he'd be like, "Oh, that's the guy,"
Yeah.
like he's peeled, and you're like,
Yeah.
"Whoa," you know what I mean? The magazines would
funny.
hype it up, right?
Yeah.
And then show you the diet plan, and
And then
then
there's only
the
two magazines, so
programming.
if the magazine says that's what it is, that's what it is. You know what I
That
mean?
was
There's no other
gospel.
there's
Yep.
no other way to get the information. But
Yeah.
now there's information coming from everywhere, you know?
I mean, there's more magazines than that.
So as far as
But
qualifying for
Flex,
the
Iron Man, Muscle Magazine,
qualifying
Muscle
for
and
the
Fitness.
Olympia, like as you're saying, they increased the stakes, yes, but there are a lot more competitions out there as well too to qualify
Yeah.
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
Olympia. So
yeah.
I think it'll
Well, the
just
sport's grown.
So it
I
makes
mean,
sense they kind of have to
obviously.
change the rules.
The
for
sport has
qualifying.
grown
Yeah, for sure.
a lot more, and there's a lot more exposure to people now because of the internet. You see a lot of these people that before there's guys that you wouldn't see,
Yeah.
until the day of the show or whatever. People didn't know. So
Yeah.
yeah, because I was just talking about, you might remember because you followed 90s bodybuilding, but what's that guy? Alex Fedorov or whatever. Remember him? So this Russian bodybuilder, 'cause me and Jeff were talking about the other day. This Russian bodybuilder, big dude, and he was from Russia, and they had shown pictures of his gym, and it was like, honestly, remind me of maybe a high school gym in the 80s, like that. But this was in the late 90s, mid late 90s. But it was really not a lot of stuff there. It was kind of older equipment, rusty,
Like
old looking
Soviet Union style.
Soviet Union stuff. And I was like, what? And this guy was he was a good bodybuilder,
Yeah.
but he turned pro. And I think he did like one show. Never heard of him again. Like kind of vanished.
Yeah.
And this guy, could have been a good competitor. But just, again, there was no social media. So there wasn't any marketing for him. So I don't know what happened.
life
But
happened.
maybe life. And, and he just, that was it. He had to
Make
go
a
to work,
choice
maybe
and
have
go
to
to
make
work.
some money. I don't know.
Communist
yeah.
It's kind of
country.
sad, right? And he's living in Russia, and that was
Yeah.
still, I think it was the 90s. So things were going through, there was changes happening, right, in the
Yeah.
90s, but I don't
See,
know.
technology and the funding went to Ivan Drago in
You're
Rocky.
right.
In
Yeah,
Rocky
seriously.
4, Ivan
Not to this
Drago.
guy.
I know.
If he dies, he dies.
Right.
I love that movie though,
Yeah.
because that was I think maybe I was 18 when that came out.
Oh
It's
my
really
gosh.
dating me, right? And I remember the scene. I love the montages in those Rocky movies, and that was the best one when Rocky was
He's running through the snow.
when he went, right. He was rich, right? Rocky was loaded, but he went to Russia and did the training in the snow, in the barn, lifting the logs,
doing the sit-ups.
carrying pushing a sled. And then Drago was in this high tech facility, running on this treadmill, monitoring heart rate, pushing
Punching
these
the
weights,
machine.
punching this machine, showing the numbers. And they show him taking a shot on his belt, like boom, pinning, and Rocky wasn't, supposedly wasn't doing anything. And it was kind of interesting. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. And I would always get hyped up on the Rocky scenes.
Yeah, let me run
When
through
he
the
was
snow.
outside, I was like,
Yeah.
oh man, like I gotta go push the sled,
Yeah.
man. I gotta go lift this barrel over my head,
Yeah, no, for sure.
because so that was the thing. And I was like, oh man, Drago's taking steroids. Like, oh damn,
Yeah.
like I remember thinking this stuff.
And
Like
that
they're
guy,
loading him up. And they would ask him too. is he on any performance enhancing? And she would be like, no, he is not on any performance drugs. We do not believe in steroids. And he's sitting there like this. He goes, you know,
Because what was that? What was
and
that?
this is and it's so funny, right? Because that's so typical of I'm not gonna say it, but almost all these guys were taking stuff. I mean,
Yeah, for
competitors,
sure.
Olympic competitors, boxers.
Yeah,
I mean, everybody's taking stuff, dude. They're
for
on
sure.
something, dude.
Yeah, no,
Come on,
definitely.
at that level.
And then even that
But
guy, what's his name? Dolph Lundgren. What's his name?
that's the
Yeah,
guy who played
that's the
it,
guy
the
who
part.
played it.
Yeah, right. The
Dolph
guy
Dolph Lundgren.
Dolph Lundgren. Yeah,
He was
like
the one who played
he
the part.
supposedly has like a doctorate, and he's like super smart. He's like some scientist or some shit, like in real life.
Yeah,
Oh,
Like he really is like
he's a really smart guy.
super intelligent
Yeah,
person, and he's like if you, I follow him on Instagram, actually, he still looks good to
but he
this
played
day.
Drago.
Yeah, and he still looks really
He
good.
played
He's
He-Man.
in good shape.
He played He-Man too,
It's an
Drago.
awesome fucking movie.
oh wow,
He did a
good.
bunch of parts. I mean, even now he's still acting. Actually,
Yeah,
he's still doing those random kind of
yeah.
obscure movies. But
Young and the
yeah,
Restless. No,
no, they're all
no.
action. They're all action. But he's still doing movies. Yeah, yeah. Pretty
Right on.
pretty cool, pretty interesting. Those montages definitely got me hyped up. I would put Rocky 4 or Rocky 3 on sometimes on the videotape before I go lift weights. I'd watch the montage, the 10-minute montage, and then be like, okay, then
Time
go to
to
the
go.
gym.
Yeah,
And hit it up.
for sure.
It's so funny, right? Like you'd have to put the VHS in and play it.
I
Now
know
we
this
can
was
just
back in the
do
day
everything on the phone. You can just watch it before you.
for sure.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah,
I don't people don't realize that kind of stuff. Like
yeah.
you,
It was
you free
definitely different
forget,
back in the
you
day.
forget, but
VHS tapes were yeah, I remember we'd go to Blockbuster every weekend and rent a VHS tape. That was like the thing I remember when I was a kid. I
yeah,
was like, man, Blockbuster VHS
Blockbuster was
tapes.
cool, man. You get
Yeah, it
that. You
was
walk in there and
yeah.
the smell of that place,
Just the
and
process of going to get the movie and getting
yeah,
excited, like, oh, I hope they have it. I hope it's not all rented out. You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, it was definitely
it's kind of weird, right? Like I thought about this before too. I was like, I look at times when I was struggling a lot in my life, whatever that may be, like financially or anything. And it's kind of weird because then I think like, yeah, those were pretty hard times, but sometimes I kind of miss it, those times, not really struggling, not having money, but just that the feeling of it, right? Of what I was doing. And it almost felt like life was simpler, I guess,
yeah,
because my goals were very simple,
yeah,
back then. And I think I just appreciated things a lot more maybe because whatever I could get was like a big deal.
yeah, for sure.
Like because everything it was hard, it was hard to get things, to get somewhere, to purchase something, to just to get by every day. It was like you're worried about the next
Yeah.
the next week, like
Just even to get steroids, man.
yeah.
So hard.
Oh, even that
Yeah.
was like
So easy now.
no, yeah, yeah. Oh, that was
Yeah, for
tough. I
sure.
mean, if you got a couple of bottles, you were just like, oh, I'm saving these.
Yeah.
It was like a big deal, and you really monitored, okay, how much am I going to use? Like because you ain't got nothing to waste. Like you got to make sure
Yeah,
you got enough,
for
because
sure.
you don't know when you're going to get this stuff again,
Yeah,
especially if it was good. And a lot of it was from like overseas.
for sure.
So, well, here in Hawaii, everything's overseas, but yeah. So I don't know. Sometimes I think about this, like, yeah, I kind of miss it when it was times were
Times were
simpler
simpler. Yeah.
and maybe
Yeah.
the struggle was there.
So, yeah, and I feel like just in those situations too, like this is kind of leads me to this topic is like when I'm getting older, you know what I mean? And I realize like, like a good like foundation or like of like thinking like a mindset, I guess, when you're older is to kind of humble yourself and always have a student mentality, you know what I mean? Because it's like as soon as you think you know everything, you plateau, you know what I mean? And it's like that's I think the problem with a lot of us as we get older, um maybe get a little more hard-headed, you know what I mean? And it's I feel like when you're younger you're more moldable and coachable, and we tend to lose that when we're older. So even people who are competing in bodybuilding, like a lot of times it's those young like hungry people that probably ask you way less questions and just do whatever the fuck you tell them to do. And it's like the older ones who are always kind of like, but what about this? Like I saw
Mm,
this, I saw that, you know what I mean? And for people who are getting into this sport or anything in general in life, being humble and having humility, like I feel like, and being able to take constructive criticism without getting offended, because it's in our human nature to be offended when somebody corrects us. You know what I mean? Like it's just everybody. It's even though you might not be that way, it's kind of like might,
I think it
this guy's,
depends. I think it depends,
yeah,
but
this guy's kind of corrected me. Like I don't know, you know what I mean? But if you're like open to like just being corrected and being like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna try this. I'm just starting this out. I'm not the best at it, and I'm okay with that. It's like, yeah, I feel like
mm,
that's a huge thing as we get older. And people who are competing in this sport or thinking about getting into bodybuilding, you have to come into this humbly and being able to be coachable and moldable. Because if you're not, it's only a detriment to yourself. You know what I mean? And I feel like, yeah, that's another thing too, is like, yeah, when I was younger, I feel like it's weird with me. I feel like it's opposite. Like when I was younger, I thought I knew everything. You know what I mean?
Huh.
And now, like that I'm older, I'm like, man, I kind of really don't
So
know as
so
much as I
you're
thought I did. Like I really need to like be coachable and moldable and
well
like,
here,
yeah,
yeah. So what you're saying, because you kind of just said it earlier, you said that when they're younger, they're easier to coach. You can mold
yeah,
them, but then you just said it.
yeah, I'm the
You weren't,
opposite. Yeah, for sure.
right?
Yeah,
And I think there's a lot of younger people who aren't just because they have the internet at their hands, they read all this
yeah,
information, they think they know, they can find it, whatever they
for
need
sure.
right there. And then if you do try to help them, they're like who are you? You know, like why do I need to listen to you? Like
Yeah,
whatever.
or like they like you tell them to do something and they're like, well, Sam Sulek doesn't do it like that. You're like,
Or that or that too.
the fuck is Sam
Yeah.
Sulek?
I find it. I don't think it's. I mean, I don't even know if it's an age thing. I think
Yeah,
it's an
person thing.
individual thing,
Yeah,
and I think if you're like you said, if you're humble and you're willing to learn, doesn't matter how old you are. You know, you could
and I
be
think that can apply to
18,
anybody, whether you're a
38.
judge, whether you're a competitor, whether you're anything in life. You know what I mean? Because even judges sometimes, you know what I mean. I'm not saying any particular person or like but you can't tell them anything. You know what I mean? They know it all. They know everything, even though they didn't compete in 20 years. They've never done the division. They've never even tried to hit the front pose. You know what I
Mm.
mean? And you try and tell them things, and they're like, nope. You know what I mean? And it's like they need to be moldable too and coachable and be able to change with the times and learn and how to like,
Yeah.
adapt.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you
I
can't do that,
absolutely agree. The
yeah,
judges, like how I mentioned before, they should maintain some sort of relevancy in the industry if they're going to continue to judge. Because, like we talked about last year, this sport is ever evolving.
Yeah.
for sure.
As far as being moldable and teachable, it comes with, um, I think it's on an individual basis. It comes with a little bit of maturity as well too. But for the young people, it's one thing to listen, be be a sponge for information, but don't be naive. Like if your coach is like, yeah, you want to win, take this. I mean, yeah, you should go freaking research about it before taking this
For sure.
and know what you're really getting into, like how we talked about, last week's episode. Also too, as far as being teachable and moldable, or just being that old dogs learning new tricks kind of deal. Um, I've run into many instances where I try to help like older people. Hey, like I might not know shit, but I know a little bit about something. Let me help you. And they're like,
Mm.
nah. I was frowned upon because it didn't look like I had the credibility to be telling an old dog
And then Mel
new
posts the
tricks.
shredded pictures the next day on
Um,
Instagram. Just like
no,
I'm gonna post these fucking shredded pictures of me. Fuck this.
no. I mean, but
Mm.
if I might one day be that old dog, that competed 30 years ago and still think I got it, and I'm still
No,
judging,
but
and you
you're
might be
staying
like,
relevant. You know what I mean? Like, look
look
what you're
at
doing
that
right
old
now. You're on a
hag still
podcast.
judging.
No, but you keep relevant, and to me, what means it for a judge to be relevant, you need to watch the shows of the pros that are going on right now. You know what I mean? You need to know who the
Or
pros are
national level.
right now,
Yeah.
Or
because
national, right?
because because just pro. Like if you should be a fan of the sport. If you're an NPC judge, you don't. Who cares what the NPC guys look like in California? The pros is what we're all trying to be like. You know what I mean? You need to go off those pros and make it consistent and make sure that you're judging everything off like what the pro division is being judged off of. Because it's like, yeah, I just feel like men's physique, it's not there yet where it needs to be. I feel like it's evolving and it needs to evolve a little bit more to be fully polished and be what it really needs to be. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? Like even like the description, not too shredded. You see Ali, that guy from
Oh,
Afghanistan,
yeah.
shredded to the bone.
Yeah.
Doesn't even match that criteria that you just explained. And they still have that on the NPC or IFB. I don't know. I don't know if it's different for the IFBB and they judge differently, but that is not what's going on in the pro division. Everything that they described right there, except for maybe the symmetry and the marketability. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's just me. So yeah.
And for those that are listening to this that competed in men's physique and you are looking to be a judge, even though there's a lot of red tape to become a judge now, I highly suggest that you guys inquire with Mark Valencia about figuring out how to get on board as a judge, because we do. I've been saying it for years. I would love to have more fresh eyes on the judges panel than nothing against the guys that we have now, but I would love fresh eyes on the judging panel.
Yeah, no, for
And
sure.
judges, I mean, the reality, the people who do it, it's more the love of the sport, right? Because it's not like
Absolutely.
you're really getting paid a lot of money
No,
or
you
nothing.
don't get
It's a
paid.
lot of time for those days that you're there, and you're not really getting
It's a
paid a lot.
sacrifice for
So
the love of the sport. And
Yeah,
it's
for me, it was
yeah,
one way for me to give back to the community.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I might not, I don't know, I'm not that super popular like Angela is in the fitness community, but I like to hope that my words have a little bit of credibility, saying that, and we were stating right here that, relevancy, being a part of this podcast and going to the shows and so on and so forth.
yeah.
How do they? So for Hawaii anyway, how do they pick who's going to judge the shows? Like, there's obviously a bunch of judges here. And how do they go? Okay, well, this show, if there's say, because how many judges usually sit at a show?
7
7. So
to include the
say
head
there was
judge.
10 judges that were like, oh, I want to judge, and he's got to take it down to 7. How do they actually pick that?
Primarily about who's available. So that's what makes it even harder. Not everybody's willing to give up their Friday because it's all day long. It's all morning, all night. That could be a paid day at work. And
What
then
if
you're doing this for the love of the sport.
what if one
Yeah,
of the guys has better calves? No,
that's the
So,
tiebreaker.
right?
you could be at your real job making money, but no, you have to take a day off from your real
I see.
job to go
Yeah,
do something
sure.
that you love. That's absurd. So this is primarily like voluntary work.
Right. It's
Who wants to
basically
do that?
that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's volunteer work. Yeah.
And but even though it is volunteer work, I volunteered with Mel twice, and I must say, like, like even though it is volunteer work and you're not getting paid, for anybody that's even expediting, even if it's just one time because they're shorthanded and you just like, oh, I don't, I'm just gonna do it this one time. Take it semi seriously, you know what I mean? Because people are paying to do this back there. Like try your best to keep it organized. Try your best to remember that these people are paying and you should respect them. And like technically they're the customer and we are providing them with a service
Mm,
and they're paying us for it. You know what I mean?
mhm.
So we should treat them with a little bit of respect. We should have a smile on our face. We shouldn't be all grouchy. Nobody should be drinking alcohol. You know what I mean? And you should take this seriously because some of these people, like, they might want to turn pro. And if it's a big joke to the people who are in charge, then that's not cool.
John, are you considering being a judge?
I would totally be a judge for sure. Like for men's physique,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah,
I mean, you have to
100%.
judge all classes,
Mark
all
Valencia.
categories.
I mean, yeah, no, I could judge
Yeah.
definitely bodybuilding and classic. I feel like
Yeah.
I have a good understanding of what's going on. I have friends that compete in all divisions, but as far as men's physique, like I'm not saying anything about any of the judges' knowledge or anything, but my knowledge on men's physique, even though I don't compete anymore, I still stay up to date with men's physique news and that webpage. I know who the winners are of most of the shows that just happened. I can tell you right off the top of my head. And it's just like every judge should be able to do that for whatever division that they specify in. Or if you competed in bikini before, you should still follow the bikini page. So everybody who knows that you did bikini before can refer to you if they have a question about something on stage. Like, oh, how do you think her posing was compared to that other
Or
girl?
this is the look
You know?
that bikini girls criteria falls under,
Yeah.
Right.
like, or just like relevancy. As far as John onboarding as a judge, that'd be great. I don't know of any other men's physique guy that would compete or
We
that
don't have one
competed.
here.
Not at all.
No, that's the
Yeah.
judge, right?
Yeah.
A lot of
So
ex bodybuilders, right?
yeah, because there was no men's physique when they were competing. So I mean,
Yeah.
maybe some of them would have done it, and probably done really
Do you
good at
think
it.
do you think you would fare well judging the women's divisions as well too?
That's one thing I'm gonna be honest. Like, you know what I mean? As far as like maybe bikini, I'm kind of familiar with that, but I'm not familiar with figure. I'm not gonna lie. I would have to be brushed up on that. And that's where I would look at somebody who did figure and be like, I can tell who's more conditioned. That's 100% easy to do. I can tell who has bigger lats, who has a smaller waist, who has more of an X factor. Totally. But when it comes to posing, the style, the angles, that's all very like
Nuanced.
specific to a
Yeah.
certain division. So
Yeah.
that's why when I see some bodybuilding, like, and this is to me, like, never take advice from somebody who's never done it themselves. Like, if you've never done it yourself, like, to me, like, I'm not going to take your advice. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I'm not going to take it that seriously. You know what I mean? If I'm a coach, right, and I coach men's physique,
Yeah.
but some guy wants to get in shape for classic, I can get him in shape. You know what I mean? But when it comes to the posing, I might be like, yo, Kenny, like, I'm not too familiar with this classic. I can tell him how to do a front double bicep, but can you kind of help him with his flow and like, get the mandatories down, like, so he can hit the right angle and I'm not making him look all screwed up over here. So it's like, if you've never done anything similar, even, you know what I mean? Like, you should look for outside help as a coach, or at least try to attain the knowledge somehow, not just wing it. And then, because I've seen people coach people on posing for men's physique, and they go up there and they look like ridiculous. You know what I
Mm,
mean? And it's
mm.
like, if they just ask somebody that did men's physique, like, yo, bro, what do you think about this front pose? They could have made magic happen in 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Instead, you coach this guy for 16 weeks, helped him pose for 16 weeks, and he looks like trash on stage. Oh, he has a great physique, he's conditioned, but his posing is terrible. And that's where I think it should matter for men's physique to judge the posing, because how can you not judge posing? You're judging on presentation.
Well, you
You know what I
should be
mean?
judging posing
Yeah, that's,
for
that's
sure.
ridiculous.
That
So,
should be a part of it.
I
yeah,
think as well too, a lot of the coaches, and I can say so for myself, it's not if it's not within my wheelhouse, I will refer you to somebody else. Can I do it? Sure, I can. And I will have last say, like, yeah, maybe we should tweak your waistline a little bit like this, a little bit more, and your shoulders like this, because I'm coming from more than one perspective. But if I mean, some of the people that I helped, I'm
Mm.
like, nah, can you just go get posing from somebody else because I don't want to.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
But then,
smart.
and then I'll just do the last tweaks.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Can I pose bikini? Sure, I can. Can I pose wellness? Sure. I don't want to, so I don't.
yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. Do you think that there's we talked about this before, but you think that there's a lot less competitors here in Hawaii now lately, like just overall
Yeah.
in the shows? It's kind of because I feel like when you go back 10 years, even 2014, 15, man, I feel like the shows were different. Like they
Yeah,
were just different and lots of people
They used
and
to have to sell standing tickets
yeah,
because
and
so many
Yep.
fucking people would show up and they would be looking
Yep.
over their shoulder in the door to see the guest posing and shit. That ballroom would
and
be
it was
absolutely
fun. Like
packed.
I remember the shows being fun, like being in the back and just it was fun. Like the energy.
Way better.
I mean, now I think the last one I went to, I forget which one it was last year, maybe Sean Ray, I don't know. But it was just the overall
yeah.
energy in the back, and it's just like it's
You almost,
very
it almost
low
seems
energy.
like how are these guys making money doing this show? It's like,
Because I
there's not
mean,
enough
there's
people
not
here.
a lot of competitors.
Yeah, I feel you.
And I'm just like, that's why it's like, what's going on? Like, it's just
In
slowly dying.
that show that you and John Legsay, that piggybacking one, that was the
Yeah.
last Paradise Cup, right?
Uh-huh. It was huge.
That was huge. There was standing room only. People are only like they were.
Yeah. I have the video from my
That's when it
posing
was still
routine.
fun.
Yeah,
It's
There was
huge.
like two fights that went on in the
That's right.
back.
There was fights. They
I was
had
like
boots
right
outs.
there,
I mean,
and
it was
baby
big. And
carriage freaking being thrown and
when
everything.
I did my
it was like birthday
posing
bash.
routine, when I did my posing routine and it was done, because I had this explosion at the end, like
Yeah,
a, and it's like, rah, and you see because the person who filmed it, they're in the back, and you see everybody jumping up, and it was like
yeah,
crazy,
There's a
and
fight.
hands, and it
Yeah,
was just loud.
yeah,
And I was like, man, like I watched that video and I'm like, oh, that was crazy time. Like that was a good time.
yeah,
yeah,
that was
There
good
was a
times.
lot of energy in that audience, and it was full house.
yeah.
Everybody went to that concert.
Yeah.
Full house, yeah.
Was that like 90s? You
No,
said?
no,
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 it
that
was like
was
early
2014.
2000s.
2014.
Yeah.
2014. Yeah.
Yeah,
2014, 2015. I mean, those were,
People would pay to fucking stand there because they didn't have any
they
seats
would
left.
literally stand around and just watch the
yeah.
show. Yeah.
Interesting.
Man, I don't
People
know
used
what's
to get
going on.
dressed up to go stand around and watch the show.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yep. They would stand around, have their drink and just talk to everybody else and walk around.
It was
yeah.
fun.
And it was fun. The
And you would
shows
think
were
that it'd
fun.
be different because it's like that just kind of goes to show that maybe in Hawaii it's dying a little bit. I don't want to say that, but there's so many more opportunities to market the show for free, to advertise it for free, to get the word out there. You don't have to go put a poster up at a supplement store, you know what I mean? And it's like,
Yeah.
and I feel like it should work the opposite way, right? Where there would be more people there because it's so much easier to spread the word. But maybe back in the day, the exclusivity of it, they were still
Well, that's
showing
what
it
I'm
on,
wondering.
like maybe
That's what I'm wondering.
2014, they weren't
Yeah, there
showing
were
it.
less divisions, but more
Yep.
competitors,
Yeah,
Less divisions,
more
more
crowd.
competitors.
Yep.
And it was definitely I want to say, I mean, you say more prestige, but I think the average person looked at it and thought, wow, that's pretty cool. Like you're bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I feel like average people don't really care.
I think you
Yeah.
do have a point with that. I mean, if history serves correct, like as far as the body turnouts,
Yeah.
like the percentile, like I think back then, I talked about this just last week. I really wish the caliber of the competition was much stronger, not by numbers, by your turnout.
Right.
Like,
Right.
do you suit the division that you're you know in, or are you still in that so-so phase because you hadn't lost enough body fat? We don't know. Could you be wellness? Could you be figure? Could you be bikini? We'll just compete in all of them. Fuck it.
Yeah. Yeah. Just do
Dude,
all of them and see which one hits. You
Yeah.
that's
know,
another one
that's
that's another one that kills me though. It's because like even this one dude that this I don't even I'm not gonna mention the show. I was just but there's this one dude, he competed in bodybuilding, classic physique, and men's physique. And he ended up winning the men's physique. But it's like, bro, like, are you confused? Like
Pick a lane.
pick one, man. Like,
Or
you know what I mean? Like, do you really think you fit the criteria for all
well,
categories?
there's a guy
Like, you
doing
know what I
it
mean?
this next weekend. There's one that's doing all three, and he trains here. So, and you
Yeah.
know who he is probably. Yeah, so I I don't know. I think he's coached them to do all three. I'm not sure, but
Then it's kind of like then there's a lot of different posing routines you got to remember. Unless you're just going to do the same one for classic and bodybuilding,
probably.
you're going to use the same music. Well, then the judge is going to be like, "We already saw this shit." You know what I mean? And then it's like,
eh,
I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? To me, it's like pick one, especially when it comes to like bodybuilding and classic. If you're gonna do bodybuilding and classic, to me, like that's just my thought process. Like, fuck it, man. I'm gonna make two routines. I'm gonna work hard. I'm gonna dedicate my time and practice my posing. I'm gonna do two different songs and two different routines, so these judges get a different look. You know what I mean?
Me,
Like,
if I had a show, man, I would just make it one. You just got to do one. That's it.
yeah,
You can't do multiple divisions and no, just
or
do one.
if you
yeah,
do multiple divisions and novice, open, and masters,
Right.
oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
true novice.
Right. Yeah, because back in the day, you couldn't do open
That's the one
and
that kills me.
masters.
Novice and then true novice. What the
No.
hell is that?
Well,
True novice is very, very, very
very
first
first
show.
show.
Popping
That's
your
but
cherry.
dude, but back in the day, like
To me, it's like, I don't
you
know, man.
couldn't do masters and open.
To me, novice is just your first show. After that, you're not novice. Like, why are you novice after your first show? You already
Well,
did one show. Now
John,
there's true novice and novice. Like, dude,
John,
it's either novice or not. You
it's
know what I
more
A
mean?
money
categories.
grab.
Hey,
A money
it's
grab.
like the song said, more categories,
Yeah.
more money. No,
Yeah, right?
more money, more categories, right?
Yeah.
More money, more headaches, more problems. Yeah. No, that's it. And but again, yeah, I think that made it that drew a lot more people to watch the show
Yeah.
back in the day because you could only compete in one
One
class, one
time.
division. That's it. You
And
can't do multiple.
you had to give that division your all. So
Yes, you went
you
100%
turned
in that.
up for that
And
fucking
everybody
show.
waited for you to step on stage for that one division. It wasn't like, oh, here he is doing classic. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta wait because he's got bodybuilding later. Okay, let's wait around for bodybuilding now. Like we saw him, but
Yeah.
okay, oh, there he is again in bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Like, now it's you're waiting. I mean, before it was you're waiting for that one division. That's it.
Yep.
And they weren't doing multiple age brackets, nothing, just one. You had to choose one. So
I like that, honestly.
yeah,
Because then you have you even aren't getting confused of what you need to look like.
no,
Like, it
No.
all has different criteria. So you're going to try and match all three criteria.
Or getting confused like when you're supposed to go on
Yep.
and what you're supposed to do when you're on. Y'all
Yep.
fucking up
You
yourselves.
got the wrong number on, bro. It's like, you did have the same number for the whole
Yeah,
thing?
they have the
Okay.
same number for the whole
At
thing.
least
as
that's
well.
good.
And I think some competitors get upset. Also, I think if there is bodybuilding and there's a guy doing open and masters, say over 35, and then there's another guy, right? And this guy wins the open, say he's 35,
Yeah.
and this guy is 40, and he's looks really good, but he doesn't do the open, he just does the masters. But then he loses to the guy who did the open, who's 35, who does the masters. So now this guy gets two overalls, and you, as the master guy who looked great, just lost to this dude who won the open and now
Yeah.
went and won the masters.
For sure.
And you're like, dude, like, well, man, like he won the open and he took the
Yeah.
masters too, right?
Yeah, no, for
Instead of
sure.
like, hey, choose one. You want to be masters or open? Okay, you're going to be open. go do the open, you win the open. This dude over here, he's going to be the Masters winner.
Yeah, for
Now
sure.
everybody gets a little taste of it, right?
Yeah, totally. I can see that
Instead
for
of
sure.
like, oh, one person's taking all this.
Yeah, and that's the thing too is like I don't know. Well, that's a little different, I guess, from Masters to Open. But yeah, if you're like if you won the classic, fuck, you shouldn't win the men's physique. You're a classic
Technically, you
guy.
probably could though.
You're a classic
We did
guy.
talk about this. That classic and men's physique kind of crossovers. They, like you said, they probably shouldn't, but the looks kind of cross over.
Kind of, but
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the classic guys, if you're good enough, if you're able to win men's physique, you're men's physique. Are you classic if you win if you win a men's physique show? Like, you know what I mean? Do you have the classic look? If you can win a men's physique show and get
Well,
first place, is that's not classic. It's a
maybe
completely
the
different criteria. You know what I
competition was
mean?
weak in that show, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
maybe,
And
and it
it was weak
depends on who
competition in
showed up.
classic,
for
right?
sure.
Depends on who showed up.
Yeah.
So
Like we were talking about how a men's physique and a men's classic are far more relative than physique and bodybuilding, or there's a big difference between classic and bodybuilding as well
right,
too. So could men's physique and classic be close? Sure,
yeah.
but could the other two?
I think
Probably
I
not.
don't think
I
so.
think on the pro level, it's not even close to being close, especially with the new weight caps for men's physique.
And you see
So
how pros do it.
so on the pro level, a men's physique guy would get annihilated in the classic physique division.
But
A classic physique guy would be way too big
but this is a good
and like
point here that
muscular, you know.
pros only do one division. You don't see
That's a good
pros doing
men's
so
physique and
men's
the
physique and classic.
yeah,
Once you turn
it's one.
pro, you're a pro in that division, right?
Yeah,
But
Or
then
a
NPC,
division.
right?
yeah,
Any division that you choose to pick, and you pick it, and that's the one that you're doing for that show.
yeah,
That's it. But then NPC, hey, you do whatever you want. You can choose the different ones and
yeah,
see. So that that's a money grab, probably. I guess
yeah,
I don't know, but I think the sport, honestly, talking about this now, I think that would really tighten things up a lot if they were to
yeah,
start going back to how it was
for sure.
and not letting people cross over.
Yeah, definitely. Pick one,
Just pick one, and this
get
is
good
what you're
at it.
doing, man.
I
Yeah,
would love for them not to have crossovers, or if you did crossover, you just crossover within your division, like
That's what
from
I'm saying.
open
Right.
masters,
Right.
novice.
If you're
yeah.
gonna do it, then
Yeah,
At least
okay,
you know what
you
that's
you're
it.
stay
doing.
within that
Yeah,
realm. You stay within your lanes, not
Yeah.
going classic to physique, or
yeah,
or women's bikini to wellness.
Right. I agree with you on that. Like that. And I think that would captivate the audience more. I think the audience would be more
yeah, for
interested
sure.
because now, this guy is only doing this and that's
Yeah,
what he's doing. That's it. He's not crossing, he's not confusing people. Oh, wait, wasn't that dude in physique? Oh, wait, he's doing bodybuilding too. And then a
Or
lot of people
people
don't
think,
know. They're kind
oh,
of confused.
again, we saw
They're
him
like,
already.
oh, I just
Oh,
saw that guy.
again.
Oh, okay. Like,
and to
you
me,
know,
like, I feel like some people do shows because they just say like they're fans and they love it. You know what I mean? But to
yeah.
me, it's like, and I get that. You know what I mean? But to me, my mentality is like, if you want to do classic and you can't even fill out men's physique board shorts, you have no business doing classic. You're gonna have a huge thigh gap. It's gonna look like a little kid in underwear on the stage, and we've all seen a bunch of
Mhm.
little kids looking grown ass men, but they look like little kids in underwear on the stage. You know, so it's like you need to like understand too that like, hey man, like maybe before I do this division, I should try to at least get somewhat in the parameters of what is expected of me. You know
That's
what
what
I
I
mean?
was saying
Yeah.
from last week. If you brought down the body fat and actually see the level of muscle that you retained on your body
Right.
before you, choose a division, like you would actually know where you fall. You would know if you fall in men's physique, men's classic, or bodybuilding, or
Yeah. Do
bikini,
a test run.
wellness. You would kind of know if you brought your body fat down like low enough. For women's wellness, do I have the glutes and quads to fill up this criteria? No, I don't.
In
Oh,
low body
okay.
fat. Right.
No, I don't. I'll do bikini then. But
Right.
in bikini, like, do I have enough muscle to constitute as bikini? Ah, no, I don't. I just look skinny. So I'm just gonna do women's fit model. Like, we should have a clue
Yeah.
Yeah.
instead
For
of
sure.
just fucking like throwing shit up against the wall and seeing what sticks.
I have
Yep.
a
There you go.
division suggestion. We should do the dad bod division.
We did bring that up.
right?
We
Or
Jed brought up
tank
the
top
couch potato
division.
division.
Well, everybody can wear tank
There's
tops,
the
just have
couch-
arms.
What
No,
was
last
it?
week I brought up the couch potato division for all the guys that sit there on the couch saying, "Well, if I was on steroids, I could do that."
Yeah,
We
Yeah.
just put their fat asses on stage and see who
sure.
wins.
It's
Right.
the well, if I was on steroids division, so that's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
couch potato. Yeah.
Yeah,
Or the
that
dad
kills me
bod,
too
yeah.
if I was on
Like
steroids.
the guy watching the NFL, like, I
Only
can't
'cause you
believe
do
you dropped
steroids.
that pass.
Yeah.
He's like eating fucking Doritos.
Never
sitting
never
on the
even played
couch.
football.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, those are good ones. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll make our own show.
right.
We'll do something with that.
Tank top division. You only got to train arms.
Tank top. That's it.
Yeah,
Oh,
just
that's a good
arms,
one,
arms
dude.
and delts.
And you
Just
have
the
to be
tank
judged in
top.
front of a gym mirror.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like it can't be on because you always look better
Yeah.
in the mirror, right?
Yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
for
So,
sure.
yeah.
You have to take the.
You have to stand in front of the
Tank
gym mirror.
division.
Anabolic lighting in the gym mirrors,
Yeah,
right?
right.
in the dumbbell area.
Oh, that's it. That's a good one right
Absolutely,
there,
yeah.
man. That's a
Yeah.
good one. Tank division.
Tank top
Yeah.
division.
All right. Yeah, I like this. These are good ideas.
Yeah.
Hey, we can, we might have a pretty good turnout. I don't know,
Yeah.
man.
No, for sure. There'd be a lot of
Maybe.
competitors, honestly.
And then and you know what's another one that we could do for women because it's so yoga tights division, dude. Because some women,
Yes.
amazing in those tights, right?
Yeah.
So
And
you
then
know,
the,
so
and then their front pose
the
is like the
tights
one
division.
that they hit towards the mirror, where
Yeah.
they like kind of twist and they stick their back leg out and they twist their hip and they go like this,
We're gonna do it.
like with your phone. Like that's the front pose on
And
stage.
they're allowed to use their waist trainers while they're wearing their tights, since
And
that's
Yeah,
what
they
they
right.
do
say like
anyway.
it's shoulder
Right.
day.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh,
like-
you guys would love to judge that division.
Or we'll do BBL
Oh, yeah.
BBL
I'm good.
division.
BBL
The
division.
BBL division.
BBL only.
Hey, you get to wear your
BBL only.
tights
Yeah,
and
right.
your waist trainers, and we go up there and we'll judge you.
Yeah, right.
From
No
here down.
problem.
Yeah.
From here down. That's
Yeah.
it.
BBL
Yeah.
division only.
Right.
Straight up, we can
Yeah.
do it. I mean, this is
Right.
gonna be a big turnout. I have a
Yeah.
feeling, actually.
But if we can tell that those pants are the only things holding all that stuff up together,
Right.
you're gonna lose points.
Yeah.
Well, right. Well, that's part of it, right? That's part of it. You got to sell that look, right?
Right.
Because I know there's
Yeah.
a lot of them. There's a lot of times that's what it is.
Like honestly, I would just throw that in there. Say if I was Ray Ronquillo, what's that Ronquillo?
Oh, you're dropping names.
Quilio. If I was Ray, my next show, just for shits and giggles, I would have the tank top division.
No, Johnny
You know what I
has his
mean?
own show, so we can
Oh,
tell
Johnny, we can have
Right.
Johnny do
Yeah,
it.
Johnny,
do it.
let's do
Oh,
a
yeah,
tank top division.
The local boy tank
Yoga
top. So
pants
you get
division.
to wear the chain if you
Yeah,
want.
can
fanny,
wear-
fanny pack.
You can rock your
Fanny
chain,
pack.
chain.
Yeah.
tank.
The fake
Hat
diamond
if
earrings
you
that's
like.
super big. Yeah.
And if you really want to go hardcore, you wear the jeans with the work boots.
Yeah.
Construction boots,
there
jeans,
you go.
tank top,
Right.
chain.
We'll call it
Right.
what? Local boy division.
Yeah, right.
Local boy, the Brada division.
Pita boy division. Yeah, right.
The Shoots Lot at division.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So
Yeah.
I mean,
One down division.
the
Right.
one down division, bro.
Mhm.
You got the
Yeah.
look. Maybe your tank top's a little dirty. You got
Yeah.
some stains on them.
Pretty much looks like everybody in line at 7-Eleven
Right.
at 5 in the morning.
Fanny
It
pack with
looks-
some
Buying their
cocaine
food
inside.
Yeah,
for
5 in the morning.
No, that local boy division will be good. Jeans,
local boy.
construction boots,
Yeah,
thick chain. That's
Tank.
it. That's it.
that's it. Yeah,
Yeah,
oh,
the
that's
local
it.
boy
That-
division.
yeah, that's a good one.
You can
right
wear
there.
your hat too backwards if you like.
can wear. Yep.
But
Wear your hat
and I would
backwards.
walk out on stage and I would hit
Fanny pack right
I would
there.
hit the box and I would unzip my fanny pack and pull out the fat wad from the chicken fight. Like be like, yeah,
From the chicken fight.
put it right back in and walk back off stage. Oh,
Oh, I mean, we're onto something. I think.
yeah.
I really feel.
Johnny,
Right.
take
Johnny.
notes. Take notes, Johnny.
Man,
Tank top division.
you know what's funny? There's a lot of dudes that literally would just be there in the audience and would just say, "Oh, I'm gonna sign up right now, bro. Let me sign up right now, bro.
Yeah,
Oh
right.
yeah, sign up." And they would just do it,
Okay, 55
You know?
bucks. They'd be like, yeah,
and they would just show up drunk, everything.
yeah.
Local
and
boy
do it.
division.
Like shit, I get arms.
Oh, Dad, you should do them, Dad.
Yeah.
Oh, you always shredded, Dad.
Yeah, right.
Oh, boy, you think I'm good?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do them already. Hey, Johnny, I like sign up, bro.
Yeah, right. For real. That'd be good.
You never hear me talk pigeon, but
Oh, that's
this is the Waimanalo
that's a
coming
good
up.
fucking idea,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
No, this is a great idea.
Yeah.
I think these things are, now
Yeah.
we're not making fun of the sport because people will say, "Oh, they're making a mockery of fitness, bodybuilding," but we're not.
Giving everybody
But
a
let's just be
chance.
honest. This could be a really fun show, and
Yeah.
to bring some fun back into
Yeah.
it
Right?
and make it fun.
Imagine a
agree.
bunch of dudes backstage in tank tops, like just doing curls.
Dude,
Fat
Dude,
chain, curls.
there is gonna
jeans.
be
Yeah.
because there are some guys
Yeah.
that just look really nuts in tank tops. Like
Yeah.
they might not even be that shredded, but they just look good in the tank, pumped up.
Or even
Like,
like
something about them.
I feel a lot
Man,
of,
this guy
like,
looks good.
a lot of local guys, like a lot of my friends, even, you know what I mean? Like they don't train or lift weights, but they lift weights a couple times, but they're so into like traps and they go
Yeah.
like this.
Oh,
And
that.
it's like
Yes.
they want like their traps to be super huge. They don't care about delts or arms or anything. So a trap division would be good
That's
too. Just like
That's wrapped.
you
Well,
know,
we can kind of wrap it all, but we have to have the local girl division too. So we're gonna have to have the little tights thing going on there.
yeah.
We can have the
Tights,
tights.
all the
We
bracelets
can
up
rock
and
the
down
tights,
the
the
We
bracelets.
arms.
take it back the bongo
So
shorts division.
the
Yeah.
oh my god, bongos. Well, anyway, so that was good,
Yeah.
good fun. Maybe these divisions will come to life. We'll
Johnny,
see.
make it
We
happen.
can talk to John. I can talk to John, and we can do something. We can partnership with Johnny and make something happen with this. You never know. I can see it. I can see
Yeah.
it. We're gonna do something. We'll find
Bring
out. We'll
back
get
the
Johnny back
fun.
on the show.
Make,
Bring
make,
So
make
back the
it
fun and
and
competition.
sponsor it too. Like
yeah,
just be
yeah.
like, oh, the winner will get like a free Iron Hawaiian Fitness T-shirt
Or
and a
3 months.
free month membership. You
And
know?
3 months.
6 cases of green of Heinekens.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get 6 cases of Heinekens.
Yeah. Right.
Like
For
that's
sure.
it. Like green bottles, 6 cases. You win the show.
Yep.
Like a lot of guys
Yeah.
are gonna join,
That'd be good.
and you get your oil change in your Tacoma for the next year. Like
Right.
something like that.
Yeah.
In your lifted Tacoma. All right. Well, anyway, that's it. Ended on a good note. Thanks for coming, John. Maybe we'll see you again. Maybe come back
Yeah.
next week, or who knows?
Yeah.
We'll have him.
Let me
He's
know.
got good topics. This guy loves talking about stuff. So, anyway, thanks for joining us, and we will see you next time on Paradise Pump. Aloha.